I've always loved the idea of superheroes that represent the USA for some reason. Captain America, who represents the idealistic principles of America, or Homelander. Listen, I just wanted an excuse to wear this costume again. To the public, Homelander represents the idealistic principles of America, but behind the scenes, behind the facade, might be a more realistic depiction of America than Captain America.
Terrific!
But superheroes aren't the only thing that I love that represent America. I love me some American animals, or animals that represent America. So today, I'm going to be discussing animals that represent the United States through their history, symbolism, and my personal experiences with them, along with the reasons as to why they may be in danger today. Let's start with the good old American bison, or buffalo, depending on what you call them. Okay, listen, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, home of the Buffalo Wing, the Goo Goo Dolls, Mighty Taco, Mighty Ted's Hot Dogs, and of course, the Buffalo Bills. So, if anyone has a right to get pissed off about people calling bison buffalo, it's me. Alright? And because of that, for the rest of this video, I'm going to be referring to the American bison as the buffalo. Cry about it. Currently, the buffalo appears as a symbol for the United States government frequently, such as the logo for the National Park Service or the Department of the Interior. But I've decided to start with the buffalo because it was significant to America long before the Europeans settled here. It was a very big part of Native American culture. Plains tribes relied on the buffalo for their way of life. They didn't just eat buffalo meat, they used every single part of the animal for survival. Nothing was wasted. That is, of course, until the United States Army showed up. Then a lot of buffalo was unfortunately wasted. The buffalo were hunted to near extinction by the US Army during the late 1800s. It was a deliberate plan meant to starve the Native Americans of the Great Plains and get them onto reservations, who, as I said, relied on these animals for their way of life. The population of buffalo before European settlers arrived was estimated to be 30 to 60 million. After the US Army was done eradicating them, there was only a mere 500 buffalo left in the wild. God bless America, am I right? Now, have you ever wondered where the Buffalo Bills got their name from? Me being from Buffalo, I did. Well, believe it or not, Buffalo Bill was a real guy that existed named Buffalo Bill Cody. And he was a little bit of a celebrity during the Wild West. His real name was William Cody, but he earned the nickname Buffalo Bill for killing over 4,000 buffalo in just 18 months. So yeah, Buffalo Bill contributed to the slaughter of buffalo and the resulting starvation of Native Americans. So, yeah, there's a fun fact for you. However, nowadays, buffalo are on the rise due to conservation efforts, which is great, you know? A lot of the populations are in captivity, such as this nice guy that I met in Texas. It's like the Wild West over here.
Hello, buffalo.
Actually bison.
Yeah, slap it.
They're really cool. Oh, look, he's coming over.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what's up, dude?
Hey, man.
I'm sorry, we don't have food.
I wish
I'm sorry.
I wish we had
I'm
food.
sorry, we don't have food. I'm so sorry, dude. Maybe another time. Oh, he found food. What do you want me to pet you?
Stop.
Oh, I don't have food though, dude. I told you already, I don't have food. I just want to pet you.
I don't have it.
Ew, you got shit on my hand.
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mouth you, Dad. He really likes us for some reason.
Oh no, because he wants food.
Can I pet you? Do I? I don't.
Don't. You're gonna get bit.
I love him. I want to take him home.
Yeah, I want to feed him. Is what I want to do.
You gotta get him away. Oh, we got more coming. We're attracting the whole squad here.
What we have, all right? It'll tell you.
Wait.
You're.
We already said we don't have anything. Oh wait, hold on.
Hey, look at this guy. Look what he's doing.
Could we technically like reach down and grab those for him?
Treasure, yeah.
Oh, he's taking them though.
Yeah, he doesn't give a command. This guy that's been taking this.
No, dude, I'm trying to get that for you.
The other one.
Whoa.
Now give it to this big one that's been asking for it. Hey, buddy, we have something for you now.
Food.
We finally had it. We have this.
There you go. There you go, friend. We fed him. Buffalo were a species on the brink of extinction due to European settlers lowering their numbers all the way down to roughly 500. Although they're not doing as well as they once were, currently there are approximately 20,000 buffalo in conservation herds and an additional 400,000 in commercial herds. Despite everything, these animals were able to bounce back and are now recognized as the United States national mammal. Next, we have the rattlesnake, more specifically the timber rattlesnake, the symbol of the American Revolution. I'm sure many of you recognize this flag. This is the Gadsden flag. I know this flag might be associated with extreme right-wing ideologies currently, and some people may take offense to it, but putting those politics aside, it was a major symbol for America during the Revolutionary War. The flag features a timber rattlesnake with the words "Don't tread on me," which essentially told the British to leave the colonists alone. Just like a rattlesnake, if they fucked with the colonists in any way, they'd strike back. The flag was named after Christopher Gadsden, who designed the flag in 1775 during the Revolutionary War. You may have also seen this, created by Benjamin Franklin. This political cartoon by Benjamin Franklin served as the symbol of the unity of the 13 colonies at the start of the Revolutionary War. And believe it or not, it's supposed to be a rattlesnake. Although it's a very strange looking rattlesnake. The species of rattlesnake for this political cartoon is unknown. I mean, hell, it barely looks like a rattlesnake at all. But I'd like to assume it's a timber rattlesnake because timber rattlers were the only species of rattlesnake that could be found in all 13 colonies. This is also most likely why the rattlesnake featured in the Gadsden flag is a timber rattlesnake. Benjamin Franklin went on to suggest that the rattlesnake was a fitting symbol for America, as it is unique to the New World and does not strike unless provoked. A metaphor for the colony's stance towards Britain. So considering the timber rattlesnake's geographic range, being in all 13 colonies originally, and its significance in the American Revolution, is exactly why I chose it over other species of rattlesnake, such as eastern or western diamondbacks. So no bias here, alright? I love all rattlesnakes equally, although maybe there's a slight bias. My choice for the timber rattler is a little bit of a slight bias because I had the opportunity to see a timber rattlesnake den in person in New York of all places, which is an experience I'll never forget. Timber rattlers live in a very strange habitat for rattlesnakes. When you think of rattlesnakes, you probably think of desert or prairie environments in the Wild West, but timbers live in mountainous, forested, rocky areas. And when the weather starts to cool down, they return to their dens for hibernation, which are marked with their scent, so they return to the same den every year. The rugged terrain that timber rattlesnakes live in was pretty hard to traverse, but the payoff was great. Alright, so we hiked up here. As you can see, this is bony, rocky terrain. It was quite the hike. So I get up here, and right over here, I wish I was recording, I saw a black racer, and it disappeared into the that hole over there. And then it jumped out, like it scared the shit out of me because I wasn't expecting anything. This is the rattlesnake den. Right here, we are standing on top of it. Black racer dips into there. I turn around, there's a rattlesnake right here. Coiled up, like this. Starts to move, it starts rattling at me, and it disappears into a hole. It was so fast, I couldn't even whip the camera out or anything. I'm very mad, but we are at the den, so we know that they are here. So I did what any sane person would do in this situation, and stuck my camera into the den. And there it is, a timber rattlesnake in its den. This one's a black morph, but in just a second you'll see we found a yellow one too. Alright, so we came back to the den, and right there. Look at that. Oh, he might start rattling. So I just want to show how these creatures are not aggressive. I'm standing by this rattlesnake right now, and it doesn't give a shit. It's just sitting there, look at it. It doesn't care. I just want to make a point that these snakes are not aggressive. There he is right there, he or she, and just minding its own business. I'm standing probably 4 feet away from it, and it doesn't care at all. Obviously, this is a safe distance, so I don't risk getting bitten by this snake, because as much as I'd love to do what Steve Irwin did and just go in there and grab it, because they are not aggressive snakes. As much as I'd like to do that, these animals are protected. Their lives are basically worth more than mine in New York. But also there's the fact that they're venomous, but you know, it's fine, it's whatever. What the snake is doing right now is it's basking in the sun. It's getting its last sunshine before winter, and then it's gonna have to retreat into its den here for winter, for hibernation. But it's also just sitting here in a ball waiting for prey at the same time, and this is basically all they do all day, is they just sit there waiting for prey to cross their paths, because they're pretty well camouflaged, and they're ambush predators. So anytime like a squirrel, a chipmunk, or a bird goes by, they just grab it, and that's all. Oh, he's looking at us. At some point in history, the image of the timber rattlesnake changed. It changed from a symbol of America to a nuisance. Starting in the mid-1800s all the way up to 1971, timber rattlesnakes had a bounty put on their heads. In places like New York, they dynamited their dens. People were afraid of timber rattlesnakes, so they tried to eradicate them. By the way, that wasn't footage of them actually blowing up rattlesnake dens. That was just some footage I found online. Fortunately, some populations of timber rattlesnakes were able to bounce back from this eradication. Like New York, for example. The timber rattlesnake den that I just showed you guys. You know, there's still rattlesnakes there, even though they tried to wipe them off the face of the planet. Although they're listed as threatened here, the den I showed you was proof that they were able to bounce back from this eradication. And obviously, some areas they were able to bounce back better than others. But in some places, such as Maine, they are now virtually extinct. And, you know, to me, this is heartbreaking. This is an animal that I'm very passionate about its conservation because, you know, people are terrified of it for no reason. I mean, the obvious reason being that they're venomous, but just leave them alone, right? You don't gotta kill them. All right, check this out. I just want to show you how close I am to this guy. I stood less than 4 feet away from this terrifying timber rattlesnake, and it didn't give a shit at all. Just listen to the flag. Don't tread on them. With bison, the motive for killing them was to starve out Native Americans. For timber rattlesnakes, the motive was fear. And even to this day, people kill rattlesnakes out of fear. How did we go from the timber rattlesnake literally being the symbol of our country to almost wiping it off the face of the planet? Okay, so by now you might be noticing a trend with these American animals. And let me tell you, no one represents this better than the good old bald eagle. And it shares a very similar story to the last two animals that I talked about. However, the difference is the bald eagle is often used as an example of an environmental success story, being able to bounce back better than ever. In the mid-20th century, a combination of factors led to the decline of bald eagle populations. Habitat loss, illegal poaching, and the pesticide DDT. Yeah, if you've ever taken an environmental science class in America, then you definitely know the story of the pesticide DDT. DDT was labeled as the safest pesticide. So safe, in fact, that they would spray it on people. Hate to break it to you, but those people probably have cancer now. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, it was used like crazy on crops and, you know, other shit like that. But in 1972, the United States government banned it because they were like, oh shit, actually this DDT stuff is actually causing like really bad environmental damage and hurting, you know, us humans. So, you know, we're sorry about that. My bad. What the fuck went on with my voice there? This costume's like... That I don't know how Anthony Starr does it. This like turtleneck thing is like strangling me. Yeah, so basically the United States government found out that DDT was actually not very good for the environment and people, and they were like, oh, you know, my bad, sorry about that. And one of the biggest things affected by DDT was bald eagle populations. Essentially what happened was, basic elementary school science, the DDT was sprayed on crops, and when it rained, the rain and runoff carried it into rivers, lakes, streams, stuff like that. So then the DDT got into those aquatic ecosystems, it got into the food web there, made its way up to fish, and then the bald eagles would eat the fish, and then the bald eagles would in turn get the DDT in their system, causing side effects to the bald eagles, such as making them sterile or thinning their eggshells, so when they sat on their eggs, they would break them. It is estimated that in the early 18th century, the bald eagle population was 300,000 to 500,000, but by the 1950s, however, only 412 nesting pairs remained remained in the lower 48 states. But as I said, this is an environmental success story, right? You know, they're the real heroes, the bald eagles. With regulations in place and DDT banned, the eagle population rebounded. The bald eagle population currently sits at around 300,000, what it was before its near extinction. So for this video, I wanted to see how well the bald eagle population was doing. Like, I wanted to see it for myself, so I got to see how well they were doing for themselves in Syracuse, New York. Alright, so we're in a very unlikely place, a place that you wouldn't expect to see bald eagles. But it is rumored that up to 500 come here every year. I have no idea where I got 500 from. That's pretty exaggerated. It's more like 50 to 100 bald eagles, according to some articles. It's not the best weather right now. It's snowing out, but it's perfect weather for bald eagles. Driving in here, we saw a bunch of them, so we're definitely gonna see some today. So we're gonna walk towards the area where they are now. So you don't gotta. Okay, all right. Well, I guess we're doing this now. It appears that we are walking through the birdcage from Jurassic Park 3. In this clip, you can actually hear the bald eagles. Oh my god, look. You see that?
No.
But yeah, we ended up seeing a ton of bald eagles. At least 30 to 50 of them. We also saw a ton of other birds, such as swans and cormorants. Now, of course, this isn't my footage. This is just some copyright-free footage I found online, because I'm poor. I don't have a crazy camera with a zoom lens or anything. Instead, the footage that I got was much more scuffed. Oh my god, look at that! You see them? We put my phone up to my binoculars to zoom in on all of the birds, which is extremely hard to get halfway decent footage with because birds move so fast. So the footage isn't the greatest, and I apologize for that. But my girlfriend happened to get some halfway decent shots, like this one, which shows a lone outcast eagle chilling on a branch, looking all depressed for some reason. Or this tree, which had multiple bald eagles hanging out on it. And this is a shot that I got without the binoculars, which actually shows a bald eagle catching a fish and flying away with it. Albeit it's pretty hard to tell because the bald eagle is so far away, but you know, it was still pretty cool. The scuffed footage makes the whole experience much more underwhelming than it actually was, but from my perspective, seeing it all in person was really cool. I was surrounded by bald eagles and all sorts of other birds. You know, I've never seen anything like this before. Definitely a cool experience. Yeah, so it was very cool seeing this conservation success story in the flesh, especially since the bald eagles were in one of the most polluted lakes in the United States. All of the animals I talked about today share very similar stories. They were almost wiped off the face of the planet due to us humans. Fortunately, their populations were able to bounce back, some better than others. And of course, you know, there are many other American animals that share this story, such as the American alligator, grizzly bears, you know, the list goes on. However, the three animals that I picked for this video carry a lot of historical significance throughout the United States. And even though these animals might be doing better due to conservation efforts, they might still be in danger today.
President Biden has approved a controversial oil drilling project in Alaska. Biden giving the green light to the ConocoPhillips Willow project today.
ConocoPhillips leaders revealing in a late morning news release they'd already started construction on the Willow project.
President Biden announced a ban on new offshore drilling along most of the U.S. coastline today. The White House
House says the ban will protect 625 million acres of ocean along the Atlantic and Pacific coasts, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Bering Sea.
I see it just came over that Biden has banned all oil and gas drilling across 625 million acres of U.S. coastal territory. It's ridiculous. I'll unban it immediately.
It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
So what I really want to say is, like, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential.
The U.S. Forest and National Park Services were hit with major staffing cuts over the weekend. The administration fired about 3,400 recent or probationary hires with the U.S. Forest Service, meaning they're within the first year or two of employment. That's about 10% of its workforce.
What democracy looks like! Tell me what democracy looks like!
These protesters at Yosemite fear for the future of America's national parks. Former staff say this was the wrong place to cut corners.
As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Seeing these American symbols bounce back from the brink of extinction is inspiring, but the fight is never over.